So at the age of 14, that was when I took the bold step to just deliberately leave home. Thank you very much, Thomas. It's a pleasure being here, and I always like talking about the things we do, and rooms like this, it helps amplify the work we do, and as well as impacting and inspiring more young folks to fall in line and do incredible things and impact their community. It's a pleasure being here, and of course, I do love Ghana. It's gradually becoming my third home now.
Wow.
So yeah.
When did you arrive in Ghana?
So I came last Monday.
Okay.
So I came Monday, and been around. It's not my first time here. I've been here. I think it's the fourth time now. So gradually, like I said, I'm more of a second citizen now of this place.
Why is you stay in Ghana?
So far, so good. It's been incredible.
Okay.
I've been, especially the food.
Wow.
That's one of my best parts. I love the jollof. I love the wache, the banku, the fufu.
Really?
I love all these things here.
Well, I believe when you are going, you have to.
Oh my goodness! I actually planned. I told Joy when going back,
Okay.
especially the jollof. I'm gonna package a couple of them and take them with me.
Wow.
And the sauce, the jollof sauce.
Wow.
I want to learn how to do it. So when I go, I'll start preparing it at home when I'm home.
Interesting.
It's
That's nice. We thank God for bringing you here. In our previous conversation, I had to review your profile and I saw a lot of things. I saw quite number of awards, prizes, and then the rest. You've been all over the world. That's what I can say for now. And then I want to ask, behind all these titles and the prize and the awards, who is Mr. David Kamara? And also, what is your story before all this began? Before you became global man, what is your story? Who is Mr. David?
that's an incredible question.
Okay.
So it all started back in the day when I was 14.
Okay.
That was way, way, way back. I was living with my grandpa. I think most of the attributes I have today, I want to extend my sincere appreciation to that old man. He's an old man now. He molded me into something I'm currently at and the person I'm aiming at to be. He's that pivotal person. And of course, I always want to appreciate God for my life, the zeal to do more, to impact more lives. I want to appreciate God for that. So starting off, I've always lived with my grandpa, and I've got a huge background in living across the country. So I'm originally from Sierra Leone, but I've spent a whole deal of my life in Rwanda now. It's my second home now. So
I was actually going to ask you that. I am told that you are both Rwanda and also Sierra Leone. And so I wanted to find out where were you born and where were you raised? How is that possible? We want to know more about that.
Yes. So I was born in Sierra Leone originally, then later moved to Rwanda. And I've been in Rwanda now for the last 7 years now. It's home. I miss Sierra Leone. Definitely, I'll find it. Hopefully, at the end of this year, I'll go visit family. Yeah. So growing up, I grew up with my grandpa, and most of what I've learned at the preliminary stages of my life has been that particular old man. At some point when he was teaching me life lessons in a whole variety of situations. Growing up, you're young, you're naive. Of course, you wouldn't see these lessons until you deliberately get to face them. Then it was like, oh, my grandpa was teaching me this particular thing. So I got to remember these things. So finding myself in that particular ecosystem, it taught me the ability to learn, be a forever student. You're always learning. I just have this particular mantra in my life. Anybody that open their mouth to talk to me, they know something I don't know.
Sure.
So I'm an attentive listener. I'm always listening. I'm curious. I'm quite a curious person. I ask questions I just want to learn as much as I possibly can. You understand? So it's not always the case of this or where I've been, the things I've done, but they said every hero has their own back end story.
Yeah, sure.
You understand? So I grew up in a single home. My mom is single parent. So I could imagine seeing my mom struggling to pay bills, struggling to pay school fees. So at the age of 14, that was when I took the bold step to just deliberately leave home. I just left home.
Wow.
Because personally, 14 years, personally, I was particularly tired seeing you love your mom so much that you see her struggling to, build things and everything. So I'm the second of three boys.
Okay.
So I made that decision to leave home. So I was just afloat. I was just around. So being out there in the real world, I was not in the confinement of my family. I was not in the confinement of my mom. Nothing was. You just have to figure things out yourself. Nobody knows you in the streets. We usually say the street is a college. It's an entire university. It teaches you. The only difference, you don't get a physical copy of your degree, but it gives you the degree in life lessons. So at the age of 16, after I moved home, I got a job as a waiter in a restaurant. I was working part time.
Okay.
I was working part time, then I was working as a contractor.
Okay.
Basically carrying cement, working in the construction sites. In all these scenarios, at some point I was really angry with myself. I was like, is this how my life is gonna be? That was a question I used to ask myself. But one thing I learned is you just keep going. Just keep doing what you do. It gives me the opportunity, the leverage to see things as an opportunity rather than an obstacle.
Okay.
You understand? Finding myself in these scenarios. So when I turned 20 in 16 years, that was when I took the bold step to start doing something for myself.
Okay.
That was when the idea of the entire plastic came about.
Wow.
It didn't fully form as in, okay, we start taking plastic, recycling them, but it all started basically on a Saturday morning. I was like, hey, gather your colleagues, like, man, the community looks a little messy today, let's just clean it up. That was entirely how my identity as a climate person, as a innovator, as an entrepreneur, that was that one fateful morning on Saturday, how everything began. So if I could describe myself in three words, who I am, I'm a resourceful person, I'm a proactive person, and I'm a creative person.
Wow.
So those are the three words I always describe myself.
Interesting. So your answer pushed me to ask this: was there a moment or a particular experience in your life which sparked your passion for environmental? Because you said that a fateful morning, you just wake up, you gather your friends, Charlie, let's clean the side environment, gather the plastic, and go do that. I mean,
So we did that for a couple of months. That is basically clean our environment.
okay.
In the morning, we clean our environment. After cleaning our environment, we used to do that with the likes of gaining favor from the top G's, the big men in the communities. Okay, oh, these area boys are cleaning the place. I don't know, okay, let's give them something.
So in Ghana, we call them C-line, like they've been employed.
Exactly.
So
Okay. Exactly. So we do these things, then eventually, so the idea of the plastic, I learned it originally from my grandpa. That was,
so your grandpa was into plastics business.
He wasn't into plastic business. So what he does basically, he was just doing the plastics things for our home. So yes,
such as
designing plastic into finished products. So at one point, we used to rear animals like the chickens. You have them in the house.
Okay.
So I don't know if you have the phenomenon here where you use mud to build houses. The mud.
Yes, I know mud.
Yes, you mold the mud, then you use them to build houses. Okay, exactly. So at some point we used to have our kitchen's house built with mud. But whenever it rains, of course, it gets soaked and everything is just destroyed. So one day my grandpa just sat down and said, okay, let me use this plastic and just make small huts for this for our pets. So he did that. So I was looking. I was curious. I was like, Grandpa, how did you do this? That was when the idea of the plastic everything came about. But he was doing it with the idea of okay for the house. So I sat down now. Exactly. I sat down now. Okay, we used to get up plastic every single Saturday from the community. We take them to the landfill sites. So, but the question now, if you get out this plastic, you take them to the garbage sites. At the end of the day, when it rains, this plastic find their way into a community again. So it's a process you keep doing, you keep doing, you keep doing. It's an unending process. But what if we take these plastic and turn them entirely into something else? Of course, something useful. While looking at it, from the business perspective, it's not only you doing it, but as well gaining value out of it, and as well impacting the lives of people you love and care about. That was the entire theory of change. That was the entire scenario.
So you actually said that you're from Leone, that's where you were born, and then you moved to Rwanda and the rest of the country. So I want to find out and I want to ask that living in Sierra Leone or growing up in Sierra Leone, how did the environment shape your vision and your value to become who you are today? Because I remember I did a search about you and you are part of the top 10 global chain makers. So how did the environment shape this vision?
As I was saying,
Okay.
Growing up as a young person, you have a whole deal of systemic stigma,
Okay.
as in, oh, he's too young. Well, there's not really nothing more that will come from young people. Reason being, oh, they don't have any experience, or they can't really do much. So growing up, you see a whole deal of struggle, especially when I left home. I decided to go about take care of myself. Out there in the street, like you get to see so many things. It's not all bed and roses. It's not beautiful in any given way. You have to struggle. You have to eat every single day. You don't have a job, of course, no degree, no. So all these scenarios, all this struggle, they were struggle at the particular moment. But I didn't realize these particular scenarios were setting me up for something big, for something way bigger and better. You understand? So usually in this particular context, if I go to encounter certain problem, I don't really feel them because the experiences I've had are way more bigger and tougher than the current situations I go through. So if I see something, I was like, oh, I've seen this kind of scenario before. It has happened. So let's just continue. So the environment growing up in Sweden, it's an undeveloped country. Economically, it's extremely low. You have a whole different indicators, global economic indicators, where we are way, 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 way below. So growing up in this particular environment, it teaches you a whole deal of things. It teaches you perseverance. It teaches you survival. You have to survive. It teaches you grit. It teaches you tenacity. You understand? It teaches you all these things. Mentally, physically, spiritually, it affects your life in all given ways. So you find yourself in this environment, definitely it will change you. Like here in Liberia, when I was in Liberia they have Zogo Boys.
So you've been to Liberia before?
Yeah, I've been to one of my projects in Liberia currently.
I see.
Yeah. So you find yourself in this environment. So usually when we usually drive, I see these boys in the streets, moving trolleys, moving tricycles. I see them. I see a reflection of my earlier days in them. You understand? So growing up in the Sierra Leone really has taught me a lot in terms of individual development. Not until when I decided to move out of Sierra Leone and go to Rwanda. So I went there to Rwanda on scholarship to study. So during the time of when the idea of the plastic came about, a year into the plastic endeavor, then I saw a scholarship that has to do with conservation. But I never wanted to be a conservationist. I never wanted to be a climate person. but God has his ways of doing things. I always wanted to be an economist or an accountant or a doctor. That was my initial dream. But I get to understand moving forward that being a doctor is not only about going to the hospital and saving lives. We can save lives in other dimensions. You can create jobs for people. That is you saving their lives. You understand? So I got to see things from that particular perspective.